Hey guys, Ray is here. Before I start the video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all the support that I got on my Mercy video. It seems like you guys enjoyed this noob trying to get better at Overwatch. And a lot of kind individuals also went out of their way to give me a lot of good advice, so thank you for all of that. And hey, we also got a whopping 13 subscribers from that video, leaving us at 51 subscribers. Thank you to all the new people subscribing to the channel. Okay, so about this video. Well, honestly, this was probably one of my hardest wins. I felt like my thinking slowly changed during the game, and I felt like reviewing it. Albeit, yes, I will be honest, I don't think I was playing that well, and I was honestly having a very rough night of ranked this night, so the vibes were not there. So that's why I highlighted it. Unfortunately, there won't be any comms because, well, I didn't record it, this is just a highlight. I was playing with a friend, and my comms and my overall playstyle and personality is a little different when I'm playing with friends, but maybe that will be for another video. And as always, if you enjoyed this Overwatch noob review his own game, then please leave a like on the video. And again, constructive criticism is always welcome. I really want to improve. And hey, if you don't have anything to say and want to help me boost engagement on this for YouTube algorithm things, then leave a moai face emoji in the comments. Lastly, if you want to see more content from me, then please consider subscribing to the channel and help me get to 100 subscribers by the end of the year. We're literally halfway there. Anyways, that's it for me. Enjoy the video. Alrighty, so starting off this game, we actually start with Baptiste because I was actually having pretty good games with him and I wanted to practice him a little bit and was having actually some pretty good success. Now, in most cases, I don't actually think that Baptiste is a strong pick here, especially on this map, but I was honestly just feeling it with him, so I just stuck with him this game because we were actually winning pretty hard before this, so yeah, that's why I stayed on Baptiste. But we move on to Ana anyways. Ana is going to be the main highlight of this game, and in most cases, I feel like if I stayed on Baptiste, we probably wouldn't have been able to lock out the win just because we wouldn't have had Nano. But overall, it's all totally fine. Starting position, honestly, for me, wasn't really good. I couldn't really see my whole team, and maybe taking the roof on the gas station might have been better here. But instantly, I get punished for my poor positioning by getting whopped by the Genji. After that, we pretty much just end up all dying. Like, as you can see right here, yeah, if you look at the kill feed, we just pretty much die everywhere. I still stay on Baptiste here, but the enemy team basically gets a whole lot of momentum here. Like, it's honestly pretty bad how much we gave them with that single push that they got, you know? Yeah, it was pretty bad. Sigma started pushing up, giving us space for all the kills that they got. And at this point, I was just trying to do something instead of just positioning myself for something better. And I decided to just try and keep the Genji alive, which I guess worked out. But at this point, there's really nothing to do here, and we probably should have backed off. If you can see right here, if I hold up, give me a second. Let me free cam this and then do that. So I actually have this pretty good angle on them. I mean, they're not really looking at me. In most cases, I think this is really good if we actually had our team. But if you look at it right, Sombra or Trigga is basically 1v1ing the Widowmaker over here, which is pretty good in a sense because I think that probably saved me. But if you look at it, I mean, we're down our Genji. Orisa is behind the wall, or at least in here. So that's why these three are trying to funnel this tunnel, and I actually don't know where our Moira is. I think our Moira is somewhere. I just don't know where. So Moira is literally healing Orisa, so that's where she is. I didn't actually see that. Anyways, we'll go back to everything that's going on. So again, this angle was alright, but I spent too much time over here, basically. Trying to do damage when honestly it really did nothing for us. In more cases than none, it did nothing for us. And if I had backed off a little earlier or backed off with the Orisa, I probably could have saved the Moira, maybe, but it's a Genji on them, right? But in more cases than none, my position over here was extremely horrible. And that costed the Moira's life. Honestly, I couldn't have done anything, and in most cases, I should have just backed off and probably took the Saloon over here. I think taking the Saloon would have been a good choice, like taking the height on the Saloon, just because it gives a lot of cover, I guess. I probably could have been hiding back here more cases, or probably like around here as well. Kind of just depends. But if anything, me staying back there or back here where I was a couple minutes ago or like a couple seconds ago probably was not a good play, which costs us a lot. But yeah, so Orisa, I think Orisa dies here. In more cases than none, Orisa dies here. And I probably should have just taken this height over here and ran away, but I end up just throwing a kill. So there goes that. Orisa's probably dead here as well. You know, we were pretty unorganized for, well, this very first game. And most cases than none, I was playing extremely horribly. But at this point, I decided to go to Ana because I just don't think our fighting is just suited for Baptiste. Our style of fighting, at least the team comp style of fighting. Actually, overall, if you look at the team comp, it might have actually been alright. But we weren't giving ourselves the position for us to capitalize on Baptiste. So that's why I switched to Ana. Over here, I don't necessarily think this position is really good, but this was really bad. Basically, a team fight is going to break out here. And in most cases, I should have held this height, but I see Orisa fighting Sigma. He's not in sight, and I drop down. And this was actually really, really bad here for me. In most cases, I feel like I probably should have maintained this height, because if you look at it, if we go up into the sky, Genji is over here fighting 4 people with Moira trying to assist with an ult. And here we are, you know, our Sombra hacks the Sigma, and it's just us 3 versus Sigma. And in most cases, I'm in such a bad position here. In most cases, I probably should have been up here still, just like where the Moira is doing. The Moira had the right idea. I probably could have kept someone alive. In fact, there's actually a lot of things that could have happened if I had held this height. But basically, what's happening is a 2v4 with a 3v1 over here. Is this right? Is that my math right? Right, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and then there's a 4 over here. They end up getting someone, which is good. Yeah, Genji gets Genji off. And pretty much Genji dies. We trade the Genji, but they have no Sigma now, which is a good reaction because Orisa starts to go in here, which is a great reaction. And this is where I kind of messed up. So let me go back 20 seconds and kind of show you what happens throughout this whole fight. So basically, you know, here we are. We're trying to get the Genji. Or not the Genji, but the Sigma. Sigma dies, and we keep the Orisa alive. Give it a second. Give it a second. There we go. And at this point, Orisa's going in, but it's too far for me to follow, so I want to follow Sombra here for, well, the back-end pick. And I basically miss all my shots. It's pretty horrible how I missed all of my shots. But we were able to basically reset, and instead of me trying to posture up for a good position, oh, actually, it looks like I am trying to posture up for a good position. This is alright, I guess. I think, yeah, okay, so I end up going back here. But I pull back a little bit because I know we can get flanked right there in that cubby over there, which we do end up getting flanked. Going on. As you can see, they're kind of funneling it through over here, and Genji's on this side. I don't notice Genji yet, but now I do. And while I have his attention, so if you can see that right there, we'll move back a little bit. This was actually really good for us, so I'm positioning back here to be safe. Genji's pretty much coming up from the side, and, you know, we're kind of just flirting with each other for a little bit. But Genji, I notice Genji, and I see the Genji, and he has his attention on me. In that very moment where he has that attention, Orisa actually goes in, gets a really good ult off, and we actually get the very, very big squad wipe. It was huge. Now, the problem here, and what I didn't like about this play, was the fact that I actually nano boosted Orisa. I think in this early half of the game, or at least this part of our whole match, I was doing extremely, extremely bad nano boosts. Like, they were just really, really bad nano boosts. And in most cases, I was looking to nano people who were ulting, which I felt was too conservative and too situational of a use of my nano. But in this case, I don't even think this nano was worth it. And if you can already see, right, Genji has his nano or his blade, or Ana has nano, and Lucio has beat. So this next fight is pretty much not gonna be going in our favor. We don't have any ults. I wasted my ult. I didn't need it. But yeah, that was honestly really, really bad for us. But again, we win this fight, and I try to get this height over here. I leave it for some reason. I don't know why I left it, but I mean, if you look, Sojourn kind of put postures up over there, and yeah, in all honesty, this was really bad. I probably should have just went through the bridge and over here, but we obviously just lose all of this because Genji is able to ult. Genji didn't actually get nanoed, but he had Blade, and I wasn't able to sleep him, which was pretty bad for us. We ended up losing a lot of the momentum that we had, and in most cases, to be fair, it was just overall my positioning. My positioning was horrible here. We lose our Sombra. Nothing we really could have done. Maybe he could have backed up, but it's totally fine. But they get this point, and in this case right here, this is where I decide to get this back angle. So yeah, honestly, another team fight just breaks out. Now my only thing about this angle is I'm not too sure if I should have been in the back or not, but I mean, overall it ended up being fine. I don't think I was healing enough in this case. Maybe, well, Orisa stayed alive, so maybe I should have just hit more shots in most cases. But we have this back angle, and albeit, even if I'm not too happy with the angle that I was in, because I'm kind of mulling over this angle, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am not necessarily too sure if this was a great angle. Yes, it's very aggressive, and in more cases than none, the reason why I feel like I'm mulling over this is because I felt like, yes, I feel like, yes, support should be aggressive, but I felt like this was too punishable of an angle that I was in. However, I wasn't getting punished, and the Orisa was with me, so maybe this was probably for the best that I had that angle. And we also had Sombra in the backline being able to pick off the Soldier, which was really good. Which is pretty much keeping two people out of the system. We get another one. We get the Lucio, which is great here. And our DPSs are in the backline, which is, again, really, really good for us. Soldier's already over there. And this is where I know I'm just wasting time. Like, I think I should have just headed back as soon as I could and found myself a better position here. Like, look at this. I literally don't do anything for the next, like, 20-ish seconds, honestly. In most cases, we lose a fight next because I just wasn't involved. But they were able to pick the Genji, which is really good. And in most cases, staggering that death timer is really good for us. But here we go, we're in a fight. Sigma goes for an ult, and he doesn't really get anything. We were able to get the Lucio as well. And I finally, oh, I guess I didn't go up there, but I probably should have went up here on the left for the height, and I didn't, which again, probably costed us this whole fight. I missed this sleep, but I mean, it's a Genji, whatever. But we were able to pick the Genji. Again, really, really good for us that we're able to pick the Genji. I gotta try to keep this Sojourn alive, and we do. But we're pretty much really split up here, and it's just not really looking too hot for us. In more cases than none, or not, I don't even know why I'm saying in more cases than none, but I played this round extremely horribly. I would say this was probably my worst round on this game. And this was a poor use of my ult as well. He goes for the ult, but everyone was able to get out. I nano it, and it literally does nothing for us. We're able to, again, pick the Genji, but we didn't really get anything off of this. They have a Lucio beat, and we were too far ahead. And we kind of just lose everything here. In most cases, this is probably like all my fault. I probably should have nanoed later. I should have nanoed the Orisa, but as soon as I heard the Orisa ult, I nanoed her, and by the time I pressed Q, I only had then realized that she didn't pull anyone in. But we're able to get our timers back up and able to push them back, again, causing more time to go by, which is honestly really, really good because this game does go in overtime. But yeah, we were able to push this off. Unfortunately, they have Blade and Nano, and so they really just need to make one good Nano Blade combo, and they pretty much win. And that's basically where this game, this round honestly goes. But yeah, that's basically what happens here. I'm still dead. I'm postured up over here, which I think is a pretty good position, but we're like way too far forward. Nano Blade goes off, and we kind of just all die. Like, that's all there is really to it. We couldn't really stop this, and they kind of just got this for free. But we did get to 11 seconds, which honestly is all we could have really asked for in this game. I played honestly horribly. My aim was bad, my positioning was bad, my use of nanos were extremely mediocre, you know, and I don't even think I got really any good sleeps in this case, but I was determined to keep going on Ana because, well, Ana is the second most practiced hero for me, actually. Yeah, I practice Kiriko, but Ana is my second most played hero at the moment. So I stayed with it. I didn't think it was necessarily bad. I think I just wasn't really looking for, well, the right things in general. Sleeps, uses of my nano, you know, there's a lot of things that I could have done better, and that's what I'm looking to do. Anyways, we're going back here since we're now attacking. Overall, like, that game was really, or that match was extremely bad positioning, or round, I guess, was extremely bad positioning. That's probably it, honestly. In most cases, I think if I had positioned better, a lot of situations could have played for us better. I wasted a lot of time trying to get to a position after knowing that I'm in a bad position or I'm like not doing anything. But you know, that changes over time. That is changing over time. So match start, you know, same stuff. They have a Junkrat on their team, which honestly isn't really that fun, but you know, this time around I'm just kind of staying in the back still. I'm not really trying to be too aggressive. I felt like I was being too stupid with my aggressive plays at the time, so that's why I stayed in the back. Maybe staying on this height would have been fine, but I think staying back at where I'm just completely safe and going for heals, even though, well, I whiffed the shot right there for no reason at all. But staying in the back was probably the most important thing here. We actually have a really good position here. They're kind of funneled in. I wasn't able to get a sleep here, and I missed like a lot of shots here. I should have hit at least 2 shots on the enemy, but I missed a lot. I got 1 on the Kiriko. I missed everything there, and then I get screwed by this Junkrat because I couldn't hit him. There's this trap right there, but I don't notice the trap. I actually don't notice the trap because I back into it right after. Right there, and I back up into it. And basically, all that momentum we had, because we actually had really, really good pressure there, was all lost because we were just not organized. In more cases, I think we were just really, really unorganized for a very long time. But we were able to lock it in when we needed to, which is really good for us. At this point, because they're backed up, I'm going to take this height, but I don't think I want to be too aggressive here. I'm honestly just... I think I'm just losing a little bit of confidence in this day because honestly today was, or this day, which was last night. Last night was really rough for us, but here we go. So to further explain this one, let me just go 20 seconds back. So I'm keeping this height. I don't want to be too aggressive, but you know, I have to do something here, and Junkrat goes for an ult here, which honestly I think their team was kind of throwing here a little bit. Really greedy ult right here by the Junkrat right in the open. I get the kill, but I wasn't able to stop the wheel from killing someone. Moira gets picked, but there goes 1 ult. You know, I now have nano. Our Genji is kind of basically annoying the whole team, and Kiriko goes for a very strange ult. Honestly, I don't think that was a great ult. We're kind of behind the whole time, and we're able to react to these ults, which is really good. They're down ults. We have a nano blade right here, and this is what builds a lot of momentum for us, actually. This one play over here was huge, actually. I'm able to get a decent position over here. I'm trying to get this Junkrat, but decided to just go for the Kiriko instead. Junkrat's kind of being a nuisance behind, staying on the payload, and I'm just eating shit. But we're able to pick off the Junkrat, and well, there it goes, right? We're doing pretty good over here. We're just posturing. I'm in an easy position for us over here. But the enemy team is pretty much trying to come from the side. But we're all in a... I don't know if we're all in a really good position, but I'm in a decent position to say in the least. Fight breaks out. Their tank switch to Winston and decides right at this point to dive all of the squishies. And so we're able to quickly all turn on him. And before the backline team, the enemy backline could even react, the Orisa was able to come behind them, or was already behind them, and stop them from pushing in. So again, really good team coordination over here. Or maybe just luck. but we are able to win another good team fight for us. So we've been actually doing really well to this point after our first mess up. Now from what I hear, Ana shouldn't really be on the payload. And Moira should have been there. In most cases, I feel like I probably should have taken this over here, or even the saloon, though I don't necessarily feel too safe on the saloon. So maybe the height or even this back gas station would have been really nice to get, but I didn't do that. I stayed on the payload because I was so hard focused on the payload. At this point, the enemy tank switches to Reinhardt, and honestly, we just break into another team fight. But this was really good for us. The Reinhardt was able to die. He was just soaking too much damage, but I died to the soldier. But thankfully, if you see right there, Genji was able to basically just deflect the whole soldier ult and kill him. So my team is honestly picking up a lot of the things here in most cases. This was, again, I was playing extremely poorly, but again, it was just my positioning. I probably should have taken that hill instead of just walked and stayed on the payload. But overall, it's okay. We break out into not really a team fight, just a little skirmish. The Reinhardt was a little too far forward without anyone trying to heal him, and pretty much just gets punished for it. This choke is really, really good. I have Nano now, and our Genji has Blade, so we might want to look for something here. I hear the Junkrat, and I'm not gonna lie, I get really scared here. I want to survive. I'm not too sure if I should have tried and broke it, but I shouldn't have. I feel like running was probably the right choice. I have to keep the Orisa alive here, and I was trying to look for a Nano, and I was really trying to look to Nano Genji, but now that I'm looking at it, I think nanoing Orisa would have probably been a really good idea here. And I know my weakest point with Ana is, other than my aim, saving and being too liberal. I think liberal is the right word with my nano boost. I really should have just nanoed our Orisa, but our Orisa ends up dying, and probably because I didn't nano her. And then she dies again, peeking a corner, which was not favorable because no one was with her. We're in a really tight spot here in most cases. It's pretty bad how tight of a spot we're in. And in this case, am I really thinking anything? I honestly couldn't tell you if I was thinking anything, but regardless, we're gonna have to get into this fight. They're really in there, and I'm trying to follow the Genji so I can try to go for a nano blade combo. And in this case, I probably should have just ulted him right there. In that case, I really should have just ulted Genji sooner, because they're a lot closer to each other than back then. And Lucio, because I ulted way too late, Lucio was able to react back with a beat, and we pretty much just lose all of our momentum here. We didn't really get anything. It was again another poor use of my nano, but it's okay. It's okay. You know, at this point, okay, so let me tell you what I'm thinking at this point. I already had a couple failed nanos, right? So I was starting to rethink my usage of nano at this very point. I was like, you know what? I think I'm waiting too long for the right moment to nano instead of just trying to keep someone alive and nanoing someone that will A, do damage, and B, live. And honestly, if I had nanoed Orisa back then, she probably would have lived. She probably could have gotten some kills. And at that time, maybe Genji could have nano or bladed, and we could have cleaned up a little bit better, is what I'm thinking. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I need to look or realize more opportunities to use nano instead of that one win condition nano. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what I was basically thinking at that point. We have to honestly try and do something at this point. You know, we're kind of running low on time, and in more cases, if we don't get the cap, then we lose. So we have to do something here. Orisa is able to kind of push them back and create a little bit of space, which is really, really good for us. The Junkrat is kind of being a nuisance and kind of doing damage to the backline, which sucks. But she gets a really big ult, and we get the Junkrat, and this was really bad because I probably should have at that time when there's a lot of discord happening. I feel like I should have taken a height. It's probably the height behind me over here that I'm facing now. But we don't really get too much off of that Orisa ult, which sucks. I should have spent the time to reposition during that Orisa ult, and we probably could have been in a better spot. So going to the Genji over here while we're kind of waiting for me to stay alive. He's kind of just trying to create a nuisance and do damage. And I think he ults soon. Yeah, so he ults here. So this is where I start changing my use of my nano, right? Genji is already ulting here, and I'm basically still coming back. And, oh, we're actually already back. I have my ult now, and instead of like looking for an ult, I just nano our Genji here, and we kind of are able to just wipe everyone. Thankfully, we're able to wipe everyone. But I kind of want to go back. Shoot, sorry. Let's go back a little bit and see what happens. So I'm pretty much on our way back. You already see what's happening. Genji is pretty much trying to be a very big nuisance to their team, trying to keep creating more time, contesting the payload the whole time, because we can't do anything if we just stay off the payload. So here I am. Am I actually hitting some shots and healing? I am getting way too close. I'm getting way too close, but the payload is my biggest priority. I see Genji and I instantly nano boost him because, well, it's do or die at this point, right? And fortunately, we were able to lock this in through this whole fight. Everyone was able to do what they needed to do. I think I was in a really poor position. I probably should have been on the right side of the payload trying to heal the Orisa a little bit longer. But overall, we were able to kill the Kiriko and lock out this second win. Really, really good for us. We're still kind of down because, well, we have 1 minute and they have a 1 minute 11 seconds. But overall, we were able to get the cap, which is just huge. Honestly, this was a big momentum shift for us. If I remember correctly, in the alt chat, they were like, the enemy team was so surprised that they were able to do this. We were able to actually lock out that win, which is honestly really good. We had the momentum, we had the motivation, we had the morale. I want to say morale was honestly a big factor into it. My morale definitely went up when we got that cap. And yeah, here we are. We're on the first round of overtime, and it doesn't really stop here. We still have a lot more time. We have 10 more minutes. Wait, what? Did I go on Baptiste? I went on Baptiste? I don't even know why I went back to Baptiste here. Okay, there we go. But this is where it gets good, all right? This is where it gets good. This is where I finally make a play. Are you guys ready for this? I actually make a play here. So I know I'm reviewing this VOD even though I really wasn't doing well, but I think VOD reviews of games where you do poorly actually is a better thing. So that's why I'm reviewing this VOD. Other than the fact that it was a really, really hard game. But I know I was playing really poorly and I wasn't mechanically in tune. I wasn't really locking it in. I wasn't phasing it up. I wasn't locking it, you know, I wasn't focusing up, right? All the things that you got to do as a gamer, especially in high stress environments, right? But straight out the bat, we're just gonna go swinging, right? We have 1 minute. We need to push the payload. I take this height immediately, and I'm just trying to keep people alive. Like, that is my priority, right? I'm not trying to poke. They're like just looking. I guess they're not really looking at me. I try to go for a sleep here. I don't really get anything. And I'm already looking straight at Genji because he's really low. He's kind of the person I want to keep alive. But unfortunately, the Genji gets this 1v1 and it's really looking horrible for us. But for some reason, we're able to push them back and I'm left alone with this Genji. And you see what I do right here? Boom! Sleep on big sleep. I ping him and we instantly kill him. That right there was probably a really big play. So if we let's go back a little bit. All right, let's free cam this, go back. So if you can see, Genji is behind us. But for some reason, the team is backing up and I'm left alone. This would have been so big. This would have been so big if I had not. I feel like if we look back at this, right? No one is on the thing and, well, yes, we have 14 seconds. I think the sleep was so big. Right there. Sleep was so big for us, actually. Because we were able to stay the payload and keep progressing it. Yes, 10 seconds left, but getting Genji out of there was really good. And it caused them to be pretty unorganized at this point. But this was amazing for us. Now, as per usual in overtime, it's just brawls on brawls on brawls. In this case, this is just gonna be a straight slugfest. My only priority here was stay alive and heal what I can and stay on the payload. I couldn't leave this payload. I was just staying alive. I can't tell you anything that's really happening. I was just it's a slugfest. I don't know anything that's going on, and in all honesty, let me pause this real quick. In all honesty, I don't even... I actually reviewed this VOD before doing this. I have a little bit of a script going on. But in more cases than none, when it's a straight brawl, I was reacting... I was fully reacting. I just needed to fully react. My only priority at this point was to stay alive, stay on the payload, make sure people can stay on the payload. You know, and not make the clock go down, right? Fortunately, everyone was on the same page and we were all just fighting. Arisa's trying to back me up here. I get this big sleep. Unfortunately, sorry. Sorry. Someone woke up the Arisa and I end up dying. But this gave us enough time for Trigger or Genji, my Apex sensei, to get Blade and pretty much clean up. And we get a pretty monumental win, and we get our first cap, which is amazing because honestly I wasn't necessarily expecting to push as far as we did, but we pushed pretty far and this was actually really huge for us, and we keep the momentum going. Trigger or Genji is able to get the soldier off, which is now staggering some sort of times, but you know, it's a pick nonetheless. But in more cases than none, it didn't really do anything because they still have time to reset. But you know, there is like actually no breathing room in overtime, so we just keep fighting. I'm trying to get this Mei here, but I'm literally like not hitting my shots. But I kind of trust Trigger to kind of stay alive here, so here we are, where big fight is happening. I'm trying to go around. I decided to go around, but I decided against it. Arisa gets a pretty decent ult. I'm trying to keep people alive. Soldiers up there and I get an ult. And at this point, I'm already seeing that I should nano or Genji. And then, yes, he didn't have Blade. I just thought, you know what, I need to keep him alive. So I nanoed him at that very moment, kept him alive. And we were able to get this second gate. Honestly, that was, again, my thinking process of nanos and my use of nano was changing. And if I had not nanoed there, the soldier would have stayed alive, and who knows how different the game could have been. Well, at this point, basically this is a really bad choke. I don't think this choke is definitely not in our favor, and I'm still trying to think of how I should take this choke in general, especially on attack. And at the moment I don't really have anything thought of, but you know, yet again another team fight pops up, but this one doesn't necessarily go in our favor. We don't have any ults. They have ult, or did they burn ults? I don't even know. Actually, wait, hold on, this is the wrong fight. We actually win this one because we had nano on our Genji. Oh wait, no we don't. Yeah, no, this is where we lose our stuff. We did have the Genji nano, but we couldn't really lock anything out, and if there was something else we could have done, then please let me know. You know, if you saw a different opportunity, then let me know. But in more cases than none, I don't think I could have really done anything there. They had their ults. We didn't necessarily have ults. The choke is really good. Maybe I could have looked for a different position. And no other route was really coming to my head that was a good route. Maybe I could have gone left and tried to get a flanking route and try to get behind enemy lines and heal people behind enemy lines. That probably would have been really good. But yeah, that was honestly a really good push for a 1 minute timer. And at this point, it's just all on us to defend. And the enemy team didn't make it easy for us, for sure. The enemy team did not make it easy for us at all. No changes on our teams, you know.
Means a lot, Arisa.
And this was a really bad start for us. This was a really bad start for us, in fact. And I'm not really getting any good heights. I probably should have gone on the gas station. The gas station probably would have been the best height for me in this case. For some reason, I didn't want to take it. I felt like I felt like I was prioritizing being close to my team. But the thing about Anna, and I'm getting it, is that she's a healer at long range. So I should try to keep the range. And probably taking a defensive height would have been a better idea. Sojourn gets picked here. I'm not able to heal Genji, and he gets picked by the Widow. And we pretty much just give a lot over here. I hit the sleep, but I wasn't really able to do anything here. We're in a really defensive position at the moment. We don't have any of our DPSs. We're trying to keep everyone alive, but it doesn't necessarily work out here. In more cases than none. I don't know why I keep saying that, but we should have just backed up here. 100% we should have just backed up here. And the only reason I'm staying forward is because I'm seeing Genji and our other teammate. I think that's the Moira behind enemy lines, and I didn't want to leave them. My desire to not just leave my teammate, or I'm just always in this mindset to not leave the team, even though I probably should have just left the team and found a better position. You know, staying there did really nothing for me and ended up dying anyways. I should have just left the team and backed up and probably found a spot over here where I'm at now. I'm realizing I'm also not farming up enough damage, so this is why I'm kind of just trying to get some shots in regardless of who I'm hitting. I know I need to get my ult soon. I haven't been able to nano yet, and I didn't really do anything, so I started kind of going for ult farm here and ult charge, you know, because I think that's just the best course of action. Unfortunately, Genji steps on a trap, dies. I also get shot by the Junkrat. The Junkrat was honestly outplaying a lot of us. This Genji or Junkrat was really good. And if you can see over here, they're kind of just winning, and they have all this momentum over here. Orisa and Moira is gonna die real quick, and they pretty much just get this site for free, which is honestly really bad for us. It's looking a little grim, but you know, my priority here was to get nano. Like, this was the most important thing for me to do, and I needed to stay alive. So I finally, for the first time in this game, actually take this height. And this was really good for me because, well, I'm able to actually farm a little bit. I have sights on everyone, and it's kind of just a straight slog. I'm farming as much as I can. Orisa gets a pretty decent ult here. I'm able to stay alive, and I'm looking for Genji. I'm basically looking for Genji at this moment. I get this nano here. And here we go. We just let our Genji go in, right? Yep. Genji was able to go in with the nano, kill a lot of people. Everyone was able to pick up, and they just have to kill this Lucio, and we win. Yep. That was honestly a really hard game. I really wish you could have seen the win animation, but we did win. I mean, obviously, because, well, it went over there. But overall thoughts, I don't think this was my best Ana game. I know my positioning was really bad. I didn't take the time to take a lot of heights and play better and more aggressive heights. I also feel like my thought process and usage of nanos was really weak. That was one of the things, is that I had very weak or narrow-minded view on how to use my nanos and when to use my nanos. And this game, I changed that up. In the second half, I was like, you know what? I need to just keep going for nanos that I feel would not just kill people, but also save people. But that's gonna do it for me. If you enjoyed me reviewing this VOD, then please leave a like on the video. I don't normally do these kind of things where I do commentary and review my own games. So if I do a lot of or if my commentary isn't that good, or if I'm kind of all over the place and rambling, I'm sorry. I might do this a lot more just because it's nice to review my VODs, and I think reviewing my VODs is actually a really good way of improving, and Overwatch makes it really easy. If you do want to see me review my own VODs more, then please let me know in the comments. And if you have a lot of constructive criticism and things that I could look to do more, as Anna, then please let me know. I really want to improve with Anna. I think Anna is going to be one of the supports that I want to really dial in. And again, if you can, please subscribe to the channel and help me reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year. And lastly, if you want to see more content outside of my YouTube channel, you can find me at Twitch at twitch.tv/JustReyes. Now, I am aware that a lot of you are people who subscribe to me because of my Mercy video, my Overwatch video. I do want to tell you something. I do want to let you folks know that I am not going to become an Overwatch content creator. For me personally, I am a gamer. I love video games of all kinds, and I want to be able to create content out of all the fun games that I, play and stream. However, I am competitive. And right now at this very moment, Overwatch is the one game that is getting me very motivated to be better. If you want to see more content from me, please follow my Twitch. I stream all kinds of games there. And if you want to watch me play some Overwatch, I will be streaming Overwatch here and there. I will also be putting a lot of videos on YouTube of good games and even VOD reviews of, my worst games. Even if no other game is your interest, why not stick around and see me evolve as a content creator and be even better overall? I can guarantee you the ride will be fun. However, tomorrow we will be streaming the entire Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign live on YouTube. So if you want to go see me play that, then subscribe already and be ready to stay tuned for that stream. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.